I'm Colby from theMinnowBucket.net, and this is Rob Snowhite. Rob's a fly fishing guide and consultant in Washington, D.C. Rob, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I live out in Fairfax, the suburbs of Washington, D.C., born and raised here, and I make my living fishing on these bodies of water, all urban and suburban fishing. Not a whole lot of trout fishing, but you'd be surprised at what we can get. A lot of people neglect the local fishing, and then once you show them how awesome it is, it changes their perspective.
Tell me about where we're going to be fishing today.
So we're at 4 Mile Run. It's an odd name. It dates back to when this was originally called Flour Mill Run. About a mile upstream at the fall line, there was a flour mill. And then a cartographer came by and redid the local maps and misspelled it as 4 Mile. It's actually about 9 miles long. You can notice that it's channelized here. There was Tropical Storm Agnes in, I think, 1974 that dumped a couple of feet of rain. And this was just a little creek, and it flooded all of Arlington and Alexandria. So the Army Corps of Engineers came out, and you can see the riprap along the shorelines. And it's also tidal. So at high tide, the fish stack up along the rocks. And we're out here right now. It's in the 20s. There's a sewage plant. So that's Arlington County on that side. We're on Fairfax County on this side. The Arlington County Sewage Department is right there. All the structure. And they purify all the sewage. It comes out 1,700 gallons a minute, about 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 hours a day here. So this water right now is 65 degrees. So all the fish in the river can sense that warmth and they swim towards it, and this place will stack up with fish for the entire winter. And it's bigger fish than you'd see out here normally. Very big carp, very big catfish, bass, crappie, walleye. There's goldfish in here. There's tilapia.
Rob, tell me a little bit about what kind of flies we're going to be throwing today.
So it's an interesting fishery because of whatever comes out of the effluent. There's not a whole lot of vegetation in here. There's a whole lot of missing macroinvertebrates. There's no scuds, there's no crest bugs, there's no stoneflies, caddisflies. The only macroinvertebrate I've ever found out here is, in 7 years of fishing, I've seen 2 crayfish, maybe a caddisfly and a leech. So pretty much these fish feed on other bait fish that come in here. So today we're going to be using just a little articulated minnow fly. But if you're fishing for the bluegill and largemouth, they're not too selective. Any kind of beadhead nymph, clouser minnow, woolly bugger, and worm fly will get it done. Same for the carp. You can come out here with just one box of, your typical summer flies, and they'll still work out here. These fish are not selective, especially the bluegill. The white perch in here will eat anything. The needlefish will eat anything, but it's trying to get that big fish to eat. You can always come out here and catch 10-inch fish all winter, but it's getting the 5-6 pound largemouth. It's the carp and goldfish that are the challenge.
So Rob, tell me about what one of your clients could typically expect on a guided trip.
A lot of what I do is teaching people how to use the rod efficiently. Most people they come out and they try to overwork things, and their hands hurt and their wrists hurt, and they're pretty miserable after a couple minutes. And once you kind of teach them how to utilize the rod and let the rod do all the work, they're much happier. casting is not that difficult, except